allowed myself a budget of 5 books on Indie Bookstore Day. I love her writing so much that I feel like it's gonna be okay. I've made the page, but I need to fill out the squares. I thought I'd show you all the books that I have checked out from my library right now, because there are a lot. I don't think I had many plans, truly. I just kind of went into this totally blind and kind of winging it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I don't really have a whole lot of plans for this video, to be honest. I just thought it'd be fun to do a little bookish vlog with you. Do a couple of like housekeeping things, a couple of progress reports for my 2025 reading year. I've got an independent bookstore day haul for you. So just a few little bits here and there for you. Let's get into the haul. That's the exciting part, right? I allowed myself a budget of 5 books on Indie Bookstore Day, and I got all of these off of Bookshop because they did a free shipping deal for the weekend of Indie Bookstore Day. And naturally, these are all going to be horror books because I'm on a horror kick and I'm so excited. First one, we've got Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I don't know really anything about this book, but I've heard that it's good. Dark thriller. Let's see. Ooh, Lost Film. I love a lost media trope. Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. Again, don't know a whole lot about this. It's a novella, so it's super short, but I've had a few friends read this and say that they really liked it, so I thought I'd pick it up. The Boatman's Daughter. This font is so hard to read. By Andy Davidson. This one is giving like Southern Gothic vibes. My battery's blinking. I gotta speed this up. 80s Ghosts by V.S. Lawrence. Never heard of it, but I love the cover. And Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. I've also heard great things about this, so I need to charge my battery. We'll get back to filming later. Okay, I'm back like an hour later. I am so unprepared for today. These are all the books that I got from the Indie Bookstore Day haul. Shout out Bookshop, love you. Most of them are red. Look at that palette. We're really matching with the palette today, me and my books. This one, I mean, the cover of it is more like purple blue, but aside from that, we've got a lot of red themes here, which is pretty fun. But I'm so excited to get into these. I have no idea which one I think is going to be a favorite. I don't even know if any of these are going to be like 5-star reads. I don't really have the confidence to predict a 5-star out of this stack, but I know that they have the potential to impress me. So I'm really excited to get into them. I think I'm going to save them for a little bit because I just want to like keep building that anticipation. And I have some other plans for reading vlogs this month, and these don't really fit into those categories at the moment, so we'll save these for later. So other things I need to do today, I need to fill out my May book bingo. I like to do a little monthly bingo board for myself to encourage my reading. So I've made the page, but I need to fill out the squares. So I'll probably do that today. I also need to decide my TBR for next week's reading vlog, which is going to highlight Asian American Pacific Islander authors because, hey, May, it's AAPI Representation Month. So we're representing. So I'm gonna decide what my TBR is gonna be for that, maybe start a couple of the books. I'm in the middle of an audiobook, this one. I literally just started it, so I really don't have any thoughts on it yet. But I might listen to a little bit of that, and I'll take you along. I'll include you. I'll show you a couple clips here and there. That's the plan. So the reading bingo for May has been filled out, and you can see that I've already gotten to check off a couple of things, and all of those were from one single book. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. I read Mott Street on an audiobook, and I finished it yesterday or the day before. Ended up giving it 4 stars, I think. It was really good. Really long though. It was really long, but I think that it needed to be. Anyway, that's where all of those little check marks came from. Hopefully I will be able to fill out some more by the end of this month. I'm sure that I will be. I tried to do a little variety of things, like page number is part of it, maybe the cover are some good prompts, the title, how many books I read in a month, genre, author ethnicity, etc, etc. So that's how I fill out my book bingo. I like to do that once a month. I think it's fun. It's a fun little way to encourage more reading and reading outside of my comfort zone every once in a while. So that's that. Wanted to give you guys an update on how many books I've read from my 25 in 2025 reading list. I've read 7 of them so far, so I'm making progress, but maybe not as much as I would like to have seen at this point, considering we're almost halfway through the year. But you know, that's okay. At least I've read some of them. So the ones that I've read are My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan, On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bisterica. I didn't write the author's name down, so I hope that I'm remembering that right. And The Queer History of the United States. I'm currently reading Disability Visibility by Alice Wong and The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. So I'm counting those in my list that I've read those, because I'll be done with them probably by the end of this week. So let me tell you which of these is my favorite. Sorry if you can hear Clover chewing on her bone. That's just how it's gonna be. I think that I only have 2 5 stars on here, and those 5 stars are The School for Good Mothers and On Tyranny. And I would definitely say that The School for Good Mothers takes the cake for my favorite so far on my 25 in 2025 list. It was a great dystopian fiction. I think I talked about it in a vlog recently. Don't know which one. I'll figure it out and maybe put it on the screen so you can see that. But it was really, truly fantastic and so tense and kind of mind-boggling. I loved it. Could not say enough good things about that one. So yeah, I've read 7 books from my 25 and 2025 list. Would like to read more. If you want to see the rest of my list, go watch this video from Vlogmas in December. That's where I make the list. Lots of fiction on there. I'm trying to up my fiction game a little bit, because when I started getting into reading again in 2020, I almost exclusively read nonfiction, and so I feel like I'm really behind in the fiction game. So a lot of my 25 books are fiction, but I do have a couple of nonfictions in there, a couple of memoirs, you know, stuff like that. I would really like to get some of the horror books checked off of this list. I also really want to read The Memory Police, which is on there. Really, really want to read The Memory Police. I'll have to see if my library has that. Maybe I'll read that for next week's vlog, because that is an Asian author. We'll have to see if I can get my hands on that for next week, because I would love to read that. Anyway, there's the progress. Wanted to give you a little progress report for that list. I'm doing okay. Could be doing better. Could be doing worse. So I would say let's call this a win. Speaking of libraries and library books, I thought I'd show you all the books that I have checked out from my library right now, because there are a lot. These come from 2 different locations. Let's see. I have 2 books by River Solomon, who I really want to get into. I have Model Home and The Deep, and I have no idea which one I'm going to read first, but I can't wait to get into it. I might actually do these for a reading vlog and like just read River Solomon's books in that reading vlog. I don't know, but I'm really excited to get to these. I've heard great things. There you go, Cole. Keep those safe. Before the coffee gets cold, my librarian recommended this to me, and I thought that I would probably read it in my AAPI reading vlog. So I have this. I also have a bunch of debuts because I kind of want to do a little test, because I often, when I read a debut novel, I end up loving it. So I kind of want to do a little experiment where I only read debut novels for like a week or something. So I picked up a bunch of them. All of these right here. 3 of them I pretty much know nothing about. This one, I've read Akwaeke Emezi before and really liked their work. So I'm looking forward to this. I don't know anything about Lisa Rowe, but the cover is cute. It sounds cozy. Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. Know nothing about this, but it's a debut, so I picked it up. And then The Leavers by Lisa Coe. Same situation. It's a debut. I don't know anything else, but it sounded cool, I guess. So I have all those. And then the thing that I'm probably the most excited for is the new Amanda Peters. Y'all know that I loved The Berry Pickers. It was my favorite book that I read in 2024, and I read it in December. And when I found out that Amanda Peters was releasing a new book, I was immediately dying to get my hands on it. So I found it at the library the other day and I picked it up immediately. It was the first thing that I picked up when I walked through the door. So I'm probably actually going to start that today because I don't want to wait any longer. I want to know what this is all about. I think it's short stories, which I don't usually like, but I love her writing so much that I feel like it's going to be okay and I'm going to enjoy it. So here's hoping that I'm correct in that assumption. I really hope I enjoy it. I really hope I give it a high rating, but can anything top The Berry Pickers for me? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. Good morning, everyone. I just finished up a little morning stream on my games channel, so if you're interested in games, there's that. But now that I've finished that up and had my coffee, had my little morning, I think I want to do a little bit more reading. I want to go through my spring hopefuls TBR with you and show you how many things that I've read from that. It's not many, but I'll give you the progress on that as well. And that's the plan for today. Not a lot of plans. It's a really chill Sunday. I'm still in my pajamas and it's almost noon, so it's a good day. This is excellent so far. I have only had a few stories that have been less than 4 stars. In fact, I think there's only been one that was a 3-star. Otherwise, they're all 4 stars or above. I've had a few 5-star stories in here, some of them that made me like emotional. And the fact that I can get emotionally invested in a short story is a really, really good sign, because normally I do not get that invested, and that's why I don't typically like a short story collection. But this is doing it for me. I'm excited to see how the rest of the stories stack up and what my average rating of the whole book is. But it's really good. I just love Amanda Peters. I think her writing is so beautiful, and just the imagery is so good. It's like reading poetry. It really is, and it's beautiful. This is a collection of stories that covers grief and love and loss and resistance and colonization and anger and family, and it's just such a wide range of subjects, and I just really like it a lot. Sorry about all the outside noise. We're outside, so what are you gonna do? But it's really beautiful, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that I recommend this. I don't know what my end rating is gonna be, but it's brilliant. I'll probably finish it today. Okay, if I gather up all of my scores from all of the short stories and find the average, then it's a 4.25, which I think is a pretty fair rating for this. I almost want to give it a higher score though, because it's so hard for a short story collection to impress me and to leave an impression on me. And this one did that. So I might even go up to 4.5. I don't know. There were several 5-star ratings in here when it came to short stories. My favorites, let me tell you what my favorite ones were. Tiny Birds and Terrorists, 3 Billion Heartbeats, and The Story of the Crow, a retelling. Those were all so incredible, and some of them left me like genuinely speechless at the end and near tears. The Story of the Crow was just really cool. It starts out saying that crows used to be all white and had a beautiful singing voice, and it's the story of how they turned black and how they ended up with the harsh caw that we know from crows. So it's just really cool. I love Amanda Peters. I love her writing. I love Indigenous storytelling just in general. I think all of their folk tales and folklore is just so fascinating and beautiful and interesting. Like I said, this was a collection of a lot of different subjects. It covered grief and family and generational trauma, and I'm sorry you can hear my dogs. Sorry about that. Resistance, love, just everything, and I thought it was beautiful. So if you're into short stories, I highly recommend this. If you're looking for an Indigenous author to read more of, Amanda Peters. Y'all know I love the Berry Pickers. This is no different. I love this one so much. I think that oh man, I keep going back and forth. I think I'll rate it 4.25 because that's fair given the ratings that I gave each of the stories. So final score, 4.25 stars. It was lovely. Another thing I said I was gonna do that I almost forgot about. I'm gonna take you through my spring hopefuls. I do a seasonal hopeful TBR where it's like no pressure, but I'd love to get to these if I like have time or have the ability to. It just kind of reminds me of books that I want to read, but they're not like super high on my priority list. You get it. And this is also a way for me to like lessen the pressure of my TBR stacks. So I finished 3 on my spring hopefuls, and let's see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 books on my hopefuls list. It's right here. I'm probably going to put the graphic that I posted on Instagram up so you can see it better. But I've read Part of Your World, The House of My Mother, and The School for Good Mothers, and all of those were like really phenomenal books. So I have high hopes for the rest of this list. I think the one that I want to get to next is either Sunrise on the Reaping, if it comes in from my library hold, which I kind of doubt that it will because I'm pretty far down on the list. Either that one, or I would like to read Ripe by Sarah Rose Etter, because that's kind of on the shorter side and it's one that I've had on my TBR for a long time, so that would be nice. It's also on my physical TBR, which means I could check off a bingo square for May if I read it this month. So I'll try to pick that up. I did pick it up pretty recently, pretty soon after I bought it, when I bought it last year, but it wasn't the vibe when I picked it up last time, so I soft DNF'd it, and we're gonna try it again pretty soon, hopefully, but that way I can get through some of these spring hopefuls before summer, and then we can make a new summer hopefuls next month. That'll be fun. So yeah, those are the hopefuls, and I've already told you about my 25 in 2025. So this is a true progress report vlog. And we even finished a book in this vlog, which I did not plan on doing. I don't remember what my other plans were for this vlog. I don't think I had many plans, truly. I just kind of went into this totally blind and kind of winging it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. That way I can give myself a little bit of extra time to film for next week, because I've been doing these on a time crunch recently. I have been procrastinating majorly, so I'm trying to do better about that and spreading out my filming windows a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Thanks so much for being here. Subscribe if you want to see more book content, especially if you saw any books in those TBRs that you would like me to read. Let me know, and I can maybe do reading vlogs for those. Let me know if you read any of Amanda Peters' works, because you totally should, and consider this my 10 out of 10 recommendation for you to pick up a book or two by her. I absolutely adore her writing and can't wait to see more from her. But yeah, subscribe, like the video, comment something if you want. Follow me on Instagram if you want. I post some book content over there as well. And that's gonna be all for this week. Thanks so much for being here. I love you so very much, and I will see you next Thursday.